Good afternoon, guys. Thought I'd make a quick little video today about why I chose the Mazda Bongo for first camper van. As many of you may know, I've spent most of my adult life motorcycle camping. Love motorcycle camping. So this is like the Hilton for me. Sleeping in this, not having to put a tent up in the cold, wet and snow. So yeah, when I was looking for one, there was a few things I had to consider. The first and most important one was size. Now, I'm limited at my house what I can get in the drive. My house is set up off the road. I've had to dig the front garden away to give me a driveway to put my car. So I'm limited on the length that I can get in the driveway. I physically couldn't accommodate a long wheelbase. So, you know, sad to say that was out. My first choice would have been a VW Crafter long wheelbase, but it's not to be. This is not my everyday vehicle, so it sits in the drive. I couldn't, or I didn't want a vehicle that was sticking out over the drive, because eventually somebody's going to complain that you're blocking the pavement, and I didn't want the hassle of that. And if I did have to get it out the drive, where am I going to put it? I can't park it roadside, where I live anyway. So that was the main consideration. One of the advantages of that is that this is the same width as a car. It's probably just a little bit bigger than your standard lengthwise as your standard estate car. I've had the high top put on, so I'm 5'11" and I can stand up in this quite easily. Because of the size, you've got that advantage of being able to navigate the tight roads around Cornwall, Devon, Scotland, the lakes, more so than you would if you were in a panel van or a long wheelbase van or a motorhome or whatever. The downside to that is obviously the space. It's not something that you would tour around Europe in. It's big enough as a day van, as a weekender, and probably a week away if you want to do, say, the NC 500, which we plan on doing. I would have no qualms about doing that in this. This has got a slide out bed as opposed to rock and roll bed, which means we've still got the full length of the van gangway so we can still use it for other purposes as well. This is a 2.5 V6, 20 years old, with less than 80,000 on the clock. So, you know, that's not bad, I don't think. One thing that you would have to remember is that these were never meant to be sold in this country. They were built purely for the Japanese market, which means they weren't undersealed as standard, simply because they don't use grit and salt on the roads in Japan, so they don't get that corrosion that we get over here. Most people who have brought them over here to turn them into campers, the first thing they do is get them checked out underneath, get them cleaned up, get them undersealed, wax oiled. That will give you a few years peace of mind. I was lucky with this one because it was undersealed as soon as it came into the country. It's only been in the country since December 2016, so less than 4 years, with less than 80,000 on the clock in total. So that's, you know, for this vehicle, that's not bad. There's a government website where you can check the MOT history for any advisories or any problems. There's also a website where you can check the mileage so that you can check that that's accurate. When this vehicle came into the country, for the first 18 months, it didn't move. There was 0 on the clock. And and that was backed up by the chap I bought it off, who was the original importer of the vehicle, who brought it to convert, never got round to it because his business took off, and then for the next 18 months or so he just used it to carry cycles around in, and kept it unconverted, to eventually it was just sitting there under a tree, which was in a bit of a sorry state when I went to look at it. But and he just wanted rid of it because he wasn't using it. He hadn't got the time to do what he wanted to do to it, so he just wanted it out of the way. So I was pretty lucky with that, but I must have looked at half a dozen, probably more than that, before I bought this one. And I would advise anybody that's looking at a bongo to do the same. Cosmetically, I've seen them that are absolutely stunning. The conversions, the paint jobs, the accessories, everything. You look at it and you think, wow, what a lovely van. But then delve underneath and, you know, that's where your money's going to go if anything's wrong. So do your homework, check out the MOT history, service history if you've got one, any advisories, make sure that they've been done, the usual sort of stuff that you would do if you were buying a 15-year-old vehicle. I mean, they stopped making these 2005, 2006, whatever, so the newest one you're going to buy is 15 years old. You 20 years, 25 years old. I think it's the 25th anniversary this year of the bongo, so you could be buying a 25-year-old vehicle, and with that comes 25 years of use. So you've got to bear that in mind when you are looking. Most of these will have relatively low mileage compared to the equivalent age panel van, basically because they didn't seem to put that many miles on them in Japan. So yeah, those are a few reasons why I went down that route, and I don't regret it for 1 minute. I think these are cracking little vehicles. We'd have no qualms about going anywhere in this country. I mean, we love this country. There's so much to see in this country, and we plan on doing a lot of it in this. As I say, this is our first little venture into campervanning, so I think we've chose wisely. It's come out exactly as I wanted it to, and we've had a weekend away in it. We've had a few days away in it since Boris let us go out to play again, and we're more than happy. But yeah, those are the reasons we bought this. Primarily the size, value for money wise, and fuel economy. This is a 2.5 V6 and I'm getting 28-30 to the gallon out of it. So your equivalent VW, say, you wouldn't get much more than that out of it. So fuel consumption is not, I don't think is exceptional, to be honest. I think it's pretty good for what they are. But yeah, obviously you do what you've got to do, and but if anybody was to ask me would I recommend one, as long as you do your homework, as long as you can find one that suits you and what you need it for, then absolutely. The bongo community, the Facebook groups and the owners clubs and that, there's some fantastic people in there, as I'm sure there are in other owners groups, and they will help you and point you in the right direction for any issues that you may have electrically or mechanically or whatever, or accessories you want to buy, or conversion people. Or there are people that convert just bongos. That's their business. So they know these vehicles inside out. So if you're thinking about buying one and you don't want to convert it yourself, then you know it's worth looking at something like that. Well, yeah, I would recommend one of these. Think about what you want it for. As I said earlier, if you want to have a weekend away, have a week away, touring this country, then these would be ideal. If you want to go further afield, France, Spain, Portugal, whatever, for 3 months at a time, then it's probably not the vehicle for you. Simply because, as I've said, it would be tight for space for that amount of time. But yeah, apart from that, great little vehicles. I love it to death, this vehicle, and I'm glad I bought it. The wife loves it. We were both a little bit skeptical when we first went down this route because we hadn't done anything like this before. I've had motorbikes most of my life. We had a boat earlier, but we've never had a camper van, and we didn't want to spend 25-30 grand on a factory built camper van to find out, you know, have we made the right choice? So that's why we thought, yeah, we'll convert one, and glad we did. Love it. If this has helped anybody to make their mind up, or if anybody's got any questions, I'm more than happy to answer any questions. Just drop them in the comments down below. And yeah, if you found this in any way, shape or form informative or interesting, then please consider subscribing. We plan on doing a few more travels now. Things are opening up again, so we're hoping to make a few more videos and you can come along on the journey with us. Thanks a lot, guys. See you later.